Hello, are you ready to get ready for fourth grade language arts? If so, you are in the right place. Hi, my name is Nancy. As a published author and holding my master's in education, I love writing, reading, powerful words, and I especially enjoy tutoring students. It's such a joy to share ways to make English fun. So, are you ready? In this lesson, I want to share with you my favorite ways of improving reading comprehension, writing, word power, and maybe even some presentation skills. So, come journey with me. Now, this lesson is not going to be just something you listen to. I would like you to participate. So, let's get some supplies ready now. This is our getting started checklist. I want you to go find a book from your bookshelf, hopefully one that has really good words in it and a good story. I want you to find something to write on, something to write with, and highlighters, colored pens. If you have those, that's very helpful. And a timer. Maybe your parents have a timer on their phone. That would be helpful as well. Get what you have and meet me back here. You can pause the video. Pause it now. See you soon. Welcome back. Do you have your supplies? Were you able to find a book to read, paper, something to write with, highlighters or colored pens, and something to time yourself? If so, then you are ready. In this lesson, I want to share with you something that I call the daily reading circuit. Many of my students have practiced the daily reading circuit and have seen their performance in school improve. Their grades go up. All right. The daily reading circuit actually is not that difficult, but it does take a little bit of practice. So I'm going to introduce you to the daily reading circuit, and we're going to combine it with a treasure hunt. How many of you love treasure hunts? I do. I still remember scavenger hunts, Easter egg hunts. Well, this is an English treasure hunt. Listen, English does not have to be dull, does not have to be boring. It's all a matter of how you look at it. I will show you how to turn it into a treasure hunt. All right, so let's get started on our journey. The daily reading circuit. Let's start there. First of all, as the name implies, daily. It works best if you could do this, once you learn how to do it, if you could practice this every day, then your English will improve. Okay? But it does take practice. And the reason I call it a circuit, because the steps, you do them again and again and again, like going in a circle. All right? So there are 4 key steps for the DRC, daily reading circuit. DRC for short. Word find, definitions, writing, and of course, reading. Why do I recommend word find first? Because over and over again, parents have called me and students have just shared with me from their heart, from their frustration, and say, I really don't understand what I'm reading. Well, understanding what you're reading starts with having a stronger vocabulary. You see, I kept watching my students and I noticed that quite often what they struggle over isn't their actual ability to read. That's not it at all. It's their reading, and they come across these words that they have no clue what they mean. But they keep reading. They still don't understand. All right, so we start with word find. Okay, so we're going to actually do that now. You're going to look for 3 kinds of words. Are you ready? Please open your book that you had gotten earlier. Turn to your favorite chapter, maybe chapter 1, chapter 2, find a chapter. Okay, you are going to look for 3 kinds of words: new ones, seldom used ones, and cool words. Okay, new words are words that you don't really have a clue what it means. Okay, seldom used, I know that word, but are you comfortable with that word? Have you written a sentence with it before? Is it part of your daily vocabulary? Maybe not. If not, then that's called a seldom used word. Cool word. I love cool words. Cool words are those that you look at it and you go, that's really neat. Words like chandelier, dinosaur, fabulous. Okay, I'm sure you will find your own cool words, but here's the catch. You only have 10 minutes to find the words, and your goal is to find 20 and write them on the paper. So have your book open, have your paper and pen ready, and when I say go, you're going to set the timer for 10 minutes and find these words. Meet me back here in 10 minutes. Ready? Go! Welcome back. Were you successful? How many words did you find? Did you find at least 20? Now listen, if you did not find 20, that just further points out the need to practice this step. Don't worry, it will improve in time. Most of my students don't find 20 words their very first time. If you did find 20, give yourself a hand, pat yourself on the back, and good job. If you were here in person, I'd give you a high five. All right, I did play this game last night just to get us set up. And these are the words I was able to find in a book that several of my students have read or are reading. Squealing. I thought that is just such a cool word. You know, I could, when you write that word squealing, I could just, you can hear it, right? It's a sounding kind of word. Tumbling is another cool word. Threshold. We don't really use that word very much, so that's a seldomly used word for me. I don't write with it a lot. Rubbish. Rubbish, that actually means your garbage or your trash. And we don't normally, your mom doesn't go to you and say, take out the rubbish, please. Right? So that's another not used word too often. Hydrophobia. I could use some refreshing on that. What in the world is hydrophobia? Scuttled? Mischief. Mischief is a cool word for me. Spitefully, I don't really use spitefully that much, so it's a seldom used word. Unsportsmanlike. Oh, thickets. Thickets is like a forest. Unsportsmanlike. Mumbling, accustomed, furious. Woodcutter. Now, woodcutter is interesting. In the book that I found it inside of, it's spelled this way. However, the dictionary does not have this hyphen. So please be aware, you will find various spellings for different words as you read. Okay, you see my list. Now, what is our next step? We've looked for the words. Next, definitions. Now, take time for just a moment. Look at the words that you found. And if you do have a highlighter, take a moment and highlight the ones that you really don't know what they mean. Go ahead, do that now. After you've done that, I want you to find a dictionary. It could be a digital dictionary. It can be paper dictionary. If you happen to be in a Wyzant tutoring room, they do have a dictionary right here at the top. So find your favorite dictionary, look up the meaning of these words, maybe even jot a few notes about those words so you remember, and then meet me back here. Pause the video, look for the definition. See you soon. All right, welcome back. Were you able to find the meaning of each of those words that you've never seen before or you didn't know? Good job. Let's see. Our next step is writing. Okay, now I can hear you already. Some of you, as you're watching this lesson, you're already going, oh, but this isn't that kind of writing. Okay, you see these words that you found earlier? We're going to play a game. You ready for the game? When I say go, you're going to have 10 minutes and you're going to try to put as many of these words as you can into a story. It can be silly, it can be funny, it can be crazy, it can be wild, adventurous. You pick. All right? Now, you can have more than one word in a sentence. Like you could put squealing and tumbling, they went down the hill. You know, you could put more than one. Now, I've had students ask me, can you use it more than one time in your story? Yes, you can. However, try not to use it in the same sentence twice. Okay? All right, so do you have your timer ready? Do you have some paper ready? And of course, your list of words. All right. Oh, we already did that. You're going to write a story, use the 20 words, and you have 10 minutes. Ready? Pause the video. I'll see you back in 10 minutes. Welcome back. How did it go? Wasn't that fun? Now, how did your story come out? Was it silly? Was it crazy? Was it funny? Was it hard? Now listen. For some students, actually many students, the first time they do this exercise, it feels very challenging because they haven't done this before. But if you do it every day, believe me, it's going to get easier and it gets more enjoyable. Now, can I share with you my story? Remember, first of all, these were my words. Okay. And here's my story. The woodcutter. The furious woodcutter, arriving for the weekly inspection of the forest, began mumbling under his breath. Those guys just always cause mischief. They have spitefully chopped down an entire row of trees and treated the branches as rubbish, he said to himself. Assuredly, the rebellious men had damaged the thicket and left most of the wood scattered around the large boulders that stood at the edge of a distant cave. These men now hid in the back of the cave, 6 of them all cramped into the darkness. They anxiously hung around the cave's threshold, that's the entrance, trying hard not to make a sound. Unfortunately, one of the devious crew began tumbling out of the cave and landed right in front of Mr. George H. Holes, the woodcutter. Sternly, Mr. Holes began looking at the trembling younger man, gently kicking some pebbles with his boot. George's eyes twinkled. He began fostering a new type of view of the young man. Grab some tools, son. I will teach you the trade, announced the wise man. That, my friend, marked the first day of Mr. George Hall's woodcutter school. The kind older gentleman, highly skilled in the trade, mentored those men and began sharing with them. He rightfully earned the title of the woodcutter. Now, what I would like for you to do is to pause the video, take your story to someone that you know could listen, maybe a friend, a family member, someone nearby. Share your story. By sharing your story with them, by reading it, you can practice presentation skills. Pause the video. I'll see you back here shortly. Okay. Now, I did say this was a game, so welcome back. Next, you get to earn some points, all right? Check out your story, grab a highlighter, and every time you use one of the words from your list, I want you to highlight it, okay? So, for example, mine looks like this, okay? And then after you highlight all the words, tally up your score and put it at the top. How many points did you make? I ended up with 16 points on this particular story. Okay, now if you have brothers or sisters, or maybe you have cousins, or I don't know, your mom, your dad, somebody that would also like to play, this is really fun to play with other people. You can compete against each other and see who can get the most points. If you don't have anyone else to play with, maybe you're doing this by yourself like I am, just write your score at the top and circle it. Remember, it is the daily reading circuit, so tomorrow I will challenge myself to get 17 points. You try to make it higher each day. All right, pause the video, tally up your score. Welcome back. I'm sure you scored a great number there. If not, if your number is low, don't worry. This is your very first time. You'll get used to this as you do it every day. Let's review our daily reading circuit. First step we did was we looked for words. We looked for 3 kinds of words. We looked for new words, seldom used words, and cool words. Then you looked up any word that you were not comfortable with, that you didn't know the definition of, the new words. Thirdly, you wrote a story. You had 10 minutes and you used your creativity, right? Wasn't that fun? You wrote a story and you used as many of those words as you could possibly think of. Now we're going to go to the 4th step, which is to read your storybook. Now listen, I know not everyone enjoys reading because, quite frankly, no one's taught them how to make it fun. This is where we go to our treasure hunt. Welcome to the treasure hunt. Have you ever gone on a hunt, like maybe a scavenger hunt or an Easter egg hunt, or just an adventure? Well, in today's adventure, I want to invite you to look for the 5 W's. You may have heard of these before, but have you had fun with them? Where, everybody say where, when, who, what, and why. You want to learn those 5 W's. Where, when, who, what, and why. As you read your story, you will look for clues as to the location. Did the story take place in a particular room, or a particular city, or a particular planet? When did the story take place? A particular year? Was it snowing? Was it winter time? Was it on somebody's birthday? Who's in the story? Does it have any heroes, any villains? What happened? What happened first? What happened second? What happened third? Why do you think this author wrote the story? Did this author intend for you to learn anything? Now, if it's just the first chapter, you may not have the why yet. Some authors don't tell you until the end. All right? So as you find these jewels, just jot a little note down to yourself, because that will come in that will be valuable as you recall the story, as you share it with others. All right? So this is the last step of the daily reading circuit, also known as DRC. Again, my name is Nancy, and it's been my pleasure to share with you these steps. Please connect with me and discover more. Let's journey together. I'm happy to be your tutor, or find your favorite tutor on Wyzant. Also, check out the other cool videos on Wyzant's Get Ready For series. Have a great day. Enjoy English. Enjoy building your reading skills, your writing skills, your word power, and your presentation skills. See you next time. Bye.